Welcome to the podcast, where we introduce you to incredible humans who share their journeys with the mission to inspire you to harness your own inner tenacity to drive your life and career forward. And now, your host, Adam Posner.
We are back with Amira Barger from Edelman, and Edelman is a firm that I know well, having worked in recruiting in the PR and advertising space and working in the space for 15 years. I'm thrilled to have her here. Kindly introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do best. And I love the glasses, by the way.
Thank you. They're my favorite ones. Thanks for having me, Amira Barger with Edelman. And I work at the world's largest communications firm. And I have the pleasure of wearing two very distinct hats there. My first hat, I work in healthcare communications. And that can be anything from medical schools, pharma, to hospital and health systems. And the second hat I get to wear is leading our Global DEI advisory. So I'm client facing and I get to work with companies all across the world, telling them about their employee engagement, diversity, equity, inclusion, and answering their questions and just helping them to make it better so that their workplaces are places where people can truly thrive.
We have so much to unpack here. So first and foremost, when it comes to home to Edelman, what is the company's position and stance right now on DEI and DEI?
We have been committed to DEI for years, long before it was popular. This is about values alignment, and that's how I like to think of it, and how I think every individual leader and every institution should be thinking about it is, what do you value? And if diversity, equity, and inclusion are things that you embrace, if a place where people can show up as their most chosen selves, and I prefer chosen self to authentic self, is a place that you want to be.
I like that you differentiated that.
Yeah, DEI is something to advance. So we help our clients advance it, we advance it ourselves, and I'm so glad that we do. And it's one of the reasons I'm here in this place.
Don't leave off the B. Don't leave off the B for belonging.
That's right. Don't forget about the B. You got to have the B. The belonging bit matters absolutely, because that's one of the outcomes that we're driving towards. That's why these DEI programs exist, is we need the belonging to be an outcome of how people actually feel within the workplace.
Let's get into it a little bit here. Why do you think so many people have a problem with DEI and B? I want to soften this a little bit, but let's keep it hard.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Happy to.
Aside from outward racism, aside from outward hate,
right?
Let's put that.
Those are big ones,
because those are shitty people that they suck and they don't want to deal with them.
Want to talk
but
to
like
them.
the average good person, I think it's fair to say. I think it's also fair to say that there are good people.
Yes.
I think it's fair to say, this is my take. There are good people that are against it because maybe they don't understand it, maybe they don't realize. Where's the miscommunication? Where's the misconceptions around DEI and B?
I think a lot of it has been a communications challenge. So interesting that you pose the question that way. I do think that it is a fundamental misunderstanding of what diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging are and why they exist. So, for example, right now, I've seen a litany of news stories asking about, well, what about veterans? Or, I can't believe we're hurting veterans. And I tell people, that's who we've been fighting for. We care about you. They are, and they didn't know it until right now, though. That's the thing.
It's not just POC. Veterans fall under DEI and B.
We cared about you. We care about you still. I've been fighting for you. You were always a part of this. So that's a huge part of it. But it really is a misunderstanding. I think as long as everyday good people, as you say, who I think actually don't hate DEI. I think that as long as DEI is positioned and thought of as that thing over there for those people, we're gonna have a problem. It's not, as you say, it's not only for people of color. It's not only for women.
Disabled.
It's not only
veterans,
for disabled. Right.
People with learning disabilities.
Neurodivergent or neurospicy
there's
friends.
so many things. There's so many other people aside from what you think that fall under.
That's right. Under that umbrella.
So do you think it's a communication problem? Aside from outward racist assholes.
So yes, those
aside
people
from those jerks.
They're a different category. We don't need to talk to them. There are only so many people that can be moved, and I think there is a bucket of people, those people who they can't be moved on the issue, but other everyday people. And here's what I'll also say, is that there are a lot of salacious headlines and a lot of noise.
Clickbait noise.
The anti-DEI cohort is really good about getting news stories and media, but when you talk to the everyday person, the everyday manager, the everyday employee. People see the benefits of DEI and B, and they have personally benefited or know somebody who has personally benefited. So I tell people, you can't only read the headlines. You need to go and talk to real human beings, because even in our Edelman Trust Barometer data, across age, across gender, across race, across political lines, people say, I see and I understand the value of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and I think it's a good thing.
Here's a curveball. If you had an opportunity,
No,
if you have an opportunity to rebrand DEI and B, what would you call it?
I wouldn't rebrand it. That's the thing, is I think the words we've chosen thus far are the right words. And, I saw someone who I admire from afar talk to people about how the words don't matter, and I vehemently disagree. They matter.
They're intentional words.
We intentionally chose that acronym for a reason. I do think you have to say the words out loud. Acronyms trip people up. And we studied that even on our own Edelman Trust Barometer. Say diversity, say equity, say inclusion, not just the acronym. And so those are the right words. I think what we have to do is you have to go into people one-on-one more, which takes longer and it's more expensive, but it's the most right thing to do. Is we have to have more real one-on-one conversations to bring people along in their understanding of what DEI is. Like I said, with even the veterans, and people were saying, my veteran son, my veteran husband, my veteran friend, and I'm telling people, we were always fighting for you.
They were
and
protected.
So those misunderstandings, that DEI was for you. And so I need you to make choices that help keep it in place, because we meant you too.
Yes.
Hey everyone, we'll jump right back into the conversation, but first let's talk about a game changer in hiring, Greenhouse. Greenhouse is the leading hiring platform that helps companies get measurably better at hiring. Because when it comes to building great teams, every hire should be the right hire. With Greenhouse, you don't just fill roles, you transform your hiring with a structured process that ensures fairness, removes bias, and enables data-driven decisions. AI-powered workflows in Greenhouse streamline every step from sourcing top talent to personalizing the candidate experience, allowing recruiters to focus on strategic, high-impact hiring that drives real business outcomes. The result? A faster, more efficient process that turns talent into a true competitive advantage. Over 7,500 companies, including HubSpot, Duolingo, Gong, JD Power, and Scout24, trust Greenhouse to optimize their hiring process and take candidates from talented prospects to top performers. And it's not just the best hiring platform, it's also a great place to work. Greenhouse has been recognized by Fortune, Inc. magazine, Glassdoor, Forbes, and more as a top workplace. Want to hire better, faster, and more fairly? Visit greenhouse.com today and get ready to hire for what's next. All right, back to the show.
Let's amplify that. Let's scream it louder from the people in the back.
Please.
Flipping gears, flipping sides to talk about how you communicate with your clients there. What are those challenges that they're facing, whether communicating internally or how are they navigating it politically with maybe their clients who are saying, for whatever reasons, we are not working with companies that still have DEI. We're not working with vendors. We're not working with clients that still support DEI and B.
Yeah, there's no right answers right now, which is one of the hardest things. I think there are a lot of companies and individual leaders who are moving to remove friction where they can, right? And so whether that's scrubbing the website of the past DEI impact reports and aspirational goals, one thing that I tell people is we see a lot of this posturing and positioning changing. We're not always saying the words DEI. We're not producing DEI reports anymore. And as long as the work is still happening behind the scenes, I think that's what most people care about. And I think that's what's happening is we used to be very stealth and quiet before, I think, 2020, because that's when a bunch of people woke up, right? But we were always here. This DEI isn't new. It's new to many people.
The whole BLM movement brought it to the forefront. And I think that I'm going to say this very carefully. I think that added a lot to the bad PR side and stoked a lot of the bad flames of the people we don't want to talk to.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely been a
From my perspective, that's how I
issue.
saw it happen.
Yeah, and that's why I think so many people see it as that thing over there for Black people. And that's not true. Diversity, equity, inclusion has always been about leveling the playing field for a great many people. We all have so many dimensions to our identity, right? I'm a Black, disabled woman, but you might have many layers I don't even know and I can't even see, right? It's that iceberg,
you want to know what's under this lid. There's a lot going on.
Iceberg. There's the 10% that's knowable above the water,
and the
90% under that's not knowable. And so I think that we need to focus on raising people's awareness of what DEI and B actually looks to accomplish, because there's something in it for every single person to gain, and it's for everyone. It always has been.
And I think there's a big one there that encompasses over half the population is women.
Sure, that's
I think that we fail to talk about women. We fail to talk about the LGBT community, for non-binary, for people who are mis and underrepresented out there. This is for more than what you see on the surface. Let's keep it moving. I want to switch it up a little bit of a right turn and talk about how does niceness, what the hell is wrong with it? Are we supposed to be nice? How is niceness screwing everything up?
It's screwing up so much, and thank you for the shameless plug. I have a book coming out in October.
I know what I'm doing over
called The Price of Nice, How Comfort Keeps Us Stuck, and 4 Actions for Real Change. And to me, nice is one of the most insidious social constructs. What's a social construct? A made-up rule, like gender, like money, like race. Made up rules that we live by that are meant to keep us in these neat little boxes.
Wait, so this book is telling me it's okay to not be nice anymore?
A little bit, yes, but the antithesis of nice is not mean. And that's what I want people to understand. To me, the antithesis of nice is nerve. And
it's like, what's the opposite of love,
nerve.
right?
That's right. Nerve is about having the audacity to say the quiet parts out loud, to be the squeaky wheel, to be the one who raises their hand to say, I know we've always been doing it this way, but is that really the most
Just
right
because
way?
we've been doing it is the right thing. Let's talk about this book a little bit.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself in the process of writing it?
Ooh. Man, that's a big
We're heating up. It's midday here on the podcast. I'm just cooking here, folks.
You know, that I need to have a bit more patience with other people. I think I've come to this understanding, you know, and I live and breathe this, and it's how I've shaped my life personally, professionally, politically. And I have to bring other people along, which is why I wrote the book. I put pen to paper on what I've been doing to live my life, having nerve over just being nice. And now I need to pause and be patient with people to bring them along the journey and help them have the same level of learning and understanding that I have come to.
You talk a little about your moral compass. Well, let me backtrack before I talk about the moral compass here. Who is this book for and why should they read it?
The main audience for this book are communicators. And here's why. Not only because I'm a communicator, but I learned many moons ago that what people will do at any given moment is determined by how they see the world. How they see the world is determined by the stories they are told and the words that we choose. Communicators have a superpower that I don't know we all always tap into or even understand. Words shape worlds, and I know that colloquialism of words matter is something that people say in a really quipped way, but it actually does matter, and it actually is true that as storytellers, whether you're selling a product, a service, an idea, we have this superpower to change how people see the world and move through the world. So this book is for communicators.
Side note here, I want more time. I want to have her on the morning show. We need to continue this conversation here. I wish we had more than 20 minutes. I want to talk about your moral compass. I love how you say it. It's built foundations, not kingdoms.
Oh, yeah.
Dig in a little bit on that one.
You know, I have seen a great many leaders that I don't want to be. And that's where that came from. I haven't seen many leaders, that I want to be. And so for me, that's where that came from is when I think about, leaders who build a kingdom, they want something to rule over. They want people to rule over. To me, a true leader builds a foundation and understands that other people are going to be laying bricks long after you and building the thing collectively over time. You do your part. You lay your brick or your 10 bricks or your 100 bricks, but you leave the tools, you leave the roadmap for others to lay the brick that is meant for them in their time.
Clip that up, folks. That is money right there. Here's the real question. How are we getting you to New Zealand?
Oh, sign me up right away.
We're at a speaking conference.
It's on my top 10 list.
We have Transform New Zealand, right? Transform New Zealand?
I didn't know that. Let's do it. I know. I'm going to
talk to tomorrow. Later, we're going to find out about that. So I want to leave here on two things. We're going to do kind of a negative positive here. What's keeping you up at night these days professionally?
professionally, it is a lot of the DEI rollback that's happening right now, because I think that what we're seeing is what's coming to light is the companies and the individuals who weren't values aligned. Those are the ones rolling it back. There are many more that are going 10 toes down. I'm excited for the ones going 10 toes down, and what's keeping me up at night is how do we support them more? How do we go into more, I'm going to name a company, more Costco's, more Apples. They're going 10 toes down and they're saying, bring it on, Delta. They're going 10 toes down. How do we support them? I want to find a way to make sure that we are supporting those kind of leaders, those kind of companies who said, we're not going anywhere. DEI matters and we're keeping it.
I'm going to end here on some positivity here. What is the single greatest piece of professional career advice you've ever received that you take action on daily?
It's something I learned when I was a kid, and something that I teach my daughter today is you leave people in places better than you found them. Period.
That's how we do it here, folks. Amira, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Where can folks find you? Where can they connect? Where can they learn more?
I'm mostly on LinkedIn, and this summer I will be launching AmiraBarger.com and the book. But find me on LinkedIn. Such a pleasure. Glad to be here.
That's how we do it on the podcast. Amira, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Wisdom is forever, but for us, it's time to go. Thank you for joining us. Luckily, we'll be back with our next episode soon, jam-packed with more incredible humans. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing. To join the conversation, search the podcast on LinkedIn. And to catch up on past episodes and more info, please visit www.thepodcast.com.